committed to their job, or do they goof off at work, or you kind of get to see their character and how serious their job is to them. Another reason is because you get to know them kind of as a friend first, and just somebody to hang out with. And you get to learn their characteristic in that way too. Also, you get to see how they dress, their hygiene, their what they drive to work. All these different things you can get to see and notice about them. One thing that you want to keep in mind, though, is where they live, how far they drive to work. Just kind of get to know, like, are they going to stay where they live? Is this just a part-time job? Is this, things like that you need to think about too. The bad part about it is, say you do have a relationship and it gets very, very serious. Do you, it's going to be difficult working with that person at your job. It's going to be difficult seeing them every day. It's going to be difficult having to concentrate on your job when your relationship is not there anymore. And it's just very hard to do that. That's happened to me many times, not only at work, but at school. So some of those things you need to consider, can this really actually work? One thing also is, when are you ready to find a partner that you want? It has a lot to do with your age. It has a lot to do with your maturity. It has a lot to do with who you are, and where you are in your life. Do you want to be in a committed relationship? Do you want to just kind of just have somebody to hang out with and do things with? Do you want to, you're ready to be committed in a marriage. You're ready to have children. You're ready to go to the very highest level of your life. So these are all the things you need to think about. And when you do start communicating with somebody that you have the desire for to be in your life, you have to be very up forward about these things. You have to say, this is where I am at in my life. This is what I want to do right now in my life. This is what I'm looking for. And if things in the future pan out and are what you want them to be, then great. But if they're not, then, you need to give some time to figure that out and see where it's going to go. Also, the reason why do you want a relationship? They're depending on so many different ages. You kind of look at people and you're thinking, why are you in that relationship? Or what do you have in common? Or, and you're kind of trying to figure out, like, what are they doing? Do they know what they're doing? It's very important to know why, and it's either because you want somebody in your life just to have fun with, whatever, things like that. You want to be married. You're ready to be married and have children. You're an older woman that's been divorced and would like a companion. A lot of things like that, why are you really doing this? Are you lonely? Are you wanting to just have somebody to communicate with, So these are a lot of things you got to think about too. Another reason is how you'll get to meet this person or how you go about it. I've always been pretty confident in myself, and I'm very outspoken, as you'll see, as we have conversations and stuff. I'm very open about what I like and what I don't like, and sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's a bad thing. It's actually kind of crazy sometimes to me too, because I'm too outspoken sometimes. And as I've gotten older, I've learned that. I've learned that there's a time and place for everything, and sometimes you're just at the wrong place, and you can't go back and fix those things. But the whole thing is you do have to be very clear on what you plan on doing. You know, there's very many different places that you can meet somebody, and that could be, you know, at a golf course. Go and have an appetizer and a drink, and, you know, talk to the men coming off the golf course. Be sure to make sure you check their finger to make sure if they're married or not first. Just joking. But also you need to, you know, may want to go to a nice restaurant and sit down and have a small meal by yourself and see if maybe somebody approaches you, or maybe you see somebody having a meal by themselves and you go and approach them and say, would you like to join me? Or, you know, it seems a little scary sometimes, but you know what? What's the worst thing that could possibly happen? That them tell you no. You know, and you rather know right up front than waste your time, you know, the rest of your night while you're eating your meal thinking, you know, should I go over there? Should I not? Should I say something? Should I this? Should I that? You know, you need to go out and enjoy yourself. And if you're enjoying yourself, somebody will see you enjoying yourself, and they may want to go over there and enjoy themselves with you. You know, that's a way that could happen too. You know, they may see you walking out in the dark to your car after you're leaving, and a gentleman, a very good gentleman, will say, hey, may I please walk you to your car? It's dark outside. You know, it's very far in between that you find a man like that anymore. You just don't. You just don't. And I'm on the same boat as you guys are. You know, it's like you see people that are together, and then you see like, well, why can't I have that? You know, and you wonder, like, what am I doing wrong? Or what is it that I don't have that she has? Or you start doubting yourself. But you can't doubt yourself, because it's just either not the time or the place, or it's a blessing sometimes, to be honest. So, after talking about all this, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. And if you'd like to leave your questions below, and I'd like to answer them. If you'd like to call in with a question, I'd love to answer that for you if I can. I am not any way kind of a doctor or a psychologist or sociologist, whatever those doctors are. I am just me. And from my own experience, I have the answers that have worked out best for me and the decisions I've had to make in my life. And just having that much experience sometimes is like, you just want to help other people. And that's why I would love for you to have this conversation with me, and you and me to be able to have these discussions so we can solve them together before it gets to the point where, you know, maybe you'll do something wrong or make a mistake or make a wrong choice. And that's what I'm here for. And depending on what subject or any matter or whatever that you would like to consider to talk to me about, anywhere from childhood to adulthood to marriage to divorce to abuse to domestic violence, anything gang related. I have been in a lot of different places in my life, and it's made me who I am today. And I would love to share those stories with you and anybody else who would like to listen. So if you want to subscribe, I would appreciate that. And also let me know what you think about my video. Let me know, you know, if I'm saying the right things, or, you know, am I keeping your interest? You know, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, whatever you want to do, just so I can have some feedback on maybe things to talk about, or maybe the way I approach things. I would love to have your views. So thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time on Let's Talk About You and Me.